Josh, the last time we spoke was in New York, and you were getting ready to be the starting center fielder at the All-Star Game, and now there's talk about you being the MVP of the American League. This has to be such an amazing journey for you.
It's going good.
He is a big question mark, and like I said, back to Cashman's philosophy, he wants to reduce payroll and he wants to improve the farm system, and getting rid of Johnson and getting some of the young arms that are in the Diamondbacks organization right now, and they do have an abundance of young arms that they are willing to give up. They have about 7 guys vying for the last 2 spots in their rotation. So, I mean, this could very well happen.
Don, talk to me a little bit about your offense right now. You have 7 guys hitting over 300. You have to be so impressed with what you've seen at the plate.
Well, we've been good so far, but it's early, so we're going to stay humble.
I'm sorry to remind you that's on the DL is Manny Ramirez, but Don Mattingly just told me that there's a lot of guys in this lineup that can step up for him. How much of a issue is it that Manny is not with you?
Well, Jen, I think last year, sometimes when bad things happen, good things come out of it. Juan Pierre last year.
Charlie, unfortunately, you're not starting off the season as World Series champions, but I'm assuming you're going to have a huge smile on your face when you see Roy Halladay take the mound today.
I'm excited about Roy.
We've talked about your veteran. Let's talk about J.A. Happ and the rookie year he had last year. Do you think that he's more comfortable this year in his second year in the big league?
I think that he definitely feels like that he established himself as a major league pitcher last year.
Going back to the Yankees and having them accept you for the next 10 years, was that sort of a humbling experience for you to be able to go back and do that?
Well, it's very humbling.
I had a long talk with pitching coach Ron Guidry about a half hour ago, and Guidry has all the confidence in the world in these 2 guys. With Wright, Wright just got his first major league win just 4 days ago, and the one thing that Guidry did say that he was the most impressed with was the poise that the young Wright showed in a very intimidating Yankee Stadium. He did pretty well. He gave up a few runs, but he didn't get rattled, and that was the one thing that Guidry was the most impressed with, and that's what Guidry also said that you want to look for in a young pitcher.
I know that you were frustrated with your performance against the Orioles. How much of a difference have you seen in them since Buck Showalter arrived?
Well, getting Brian back has been huge.
How about the job David Price has done in Tampa and the fact that he's saying that you're more deserving of the award than him?
I don't know. I mean, he's had a great year.
Talk about your no-hitter and how great was it to do it against Tampa? Who traded you away?
It was good just to be able to accomplish that feat regardless of the team.
Speaking of veterans, how about the job your GM Mike Rizzo did bringing in veterans like Pudge Rodriguez, even Brian Bruni and Jason Marquis, who all have postseason experience?
We've never really had that here.
The Yankees rotation right now is it's better on paper. You have Mike Mussina, who is a little past his prime. Randy Johnson, if he stays, who has battled some health issues. Carl Pavano, who right now, actually all winter, has been in Arizona working with the new trainer, and he's been on a new workout regimen, but who knows what ailment will emerge with him once the new season starts. And Chien-Ming Wang came off a great season. He had 19 wins. He almost won the Cy Young. So, I think right now the only person who the Yankees really truly depend on is Chien-Ming Wang.
Any extra pressure this year with that hardware?
Well, I'm definitely a veteran on this team. No, but I don't think there's any extra pressure.
Brian Mattis could possibly be a Rookie of the Year candidate. Any advice for him? Should he just forget that award even exists, or is that something that he should strive for?
You can't worry about those things.
You play behind a lot of great pitchers, but how fun is it to play behind Cliff Lee?
By far the best pitcher I played with.
I just spoke to Jorge Cantu, who's only been here for about, 3 weeks, and he told me that this is one of the most professional clubhouses he's been a part of. How much has that played a factor in your success?
Big factor.
You hit 2 home runs here at Camden Yards May 1st. Do you think that was the turning point for you?
I think my turning point was talking to you.
No. I'm a good luck charm?
You are.
I like that.
I like that. You're my girl for a long time, what I'm saying?
We had a nice conversation last time you were here.
Definitely.
The World Series, 2 in 4 years. Have you even stopped to think that maybe you are the reason why your team went from the team who can't win to the team who can't lose?
Well, first of all, I know that's not true.
Looking back at you the winter of '04 and looking at you now, how much have you changed? Not necessarily as a manager, but as a person. I know Boston and the Boston media can really toughen you up.
Sometimes I don't like the way I get.
We've seen so many big home run seasons from so many people, but to be so close to the season that Alex Rodriguez is having, what does that mean, and what do you think about the year that he's had?
He's having a great year.
How important is it for you to close here, and how much of a tough decision does Terry Francona have to put you on the mound over his own Jonathan Papelbon?
Well,
That's a decision that he already made, definitely.
That's one of the things that Pettit missed the most being in Houston was this rivalry. I mean, this is what baseball players play for, is a rivalry like the Red Sox and the Yankees. And I talked to him the other day, and he was talking about some of his greatest memories here at Fenway Park. And he talked about when he pitched against his friend Roger Clemens in 1996, which was also Roger's last game as a Red Sox. And he also touched upon that memorable championship series game in '03 when Pedro got a little rough with his buddy Zim.
Is it tough for you to part with really Crawford more than anybody else, just because he's been there from the beginning?
Not only that, he's really good.
Joe, you brought your team from last place to first. Any advice to Buck Showalter, who's taking over this ball club, who was in last place?
Hey, listen, Buck doesn't need a whole lot of advice.
How much pride do you guys all have, given the fact that you're all homegrown?
We have a lot of pride in that, you know.
Are you thinking about free agency? I know that you're in the middle of a playoff race, but has it crossed your mind? I know it's uncharted waters for you.
Yeah, you know, well, the main thing is we've been playing really well, so I haven't had to think about it as much.
I think Joe Torre will give him the green light. The last time I did speak to Brian Cashman said, Johnny's a runner, and I think that was one of the things that Cashman liked about Johnny, not only that he did get younger, but that he is getting a more athletic player than what he had in Bernie Williams. Bernie is going to play a Ruben Sierra type role. Bernie will be part-time DH and he'll be a spot starter. Bernie will also see some time in left field and in right field. I know in spring training they're going to try him out in the corners. So Yankee fans will still be seeing Bernie Williams.
Adam, 8th career walk-off last night. Did that home run feel any more special to you, given that it possibly could have been your last home run here?
I mean, I have one more game here for sure.
Ken, I know that you were after Adam Dunn at the trade deadline. You must be so happy to have locked him up for the next 4 years.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't have to tell you.
Getting to know Matt Wieters, getting to know the Orioles, and what I like about your features, what you're doing on MASNsports.com, is you're asking maybe non-baseball questions or baseball questions in a different way.
Yeah, it's just not about balls and strikes. We ask questions such as, you know, what is your favorite ballpark to play in, or who was your favorite athlete growing up that inspired you? So it's really good to get to know these players. I'm new here, so it's kind of helping me as well. But Matt Wieters, he was great today.
I had a little fun with Brian Mattis today. Take a look. Brian, what's the first thing you bought when you got your big paycheck?
Oh man, that's tough.
Right field is so boring, man. Ball's hit, you play it off the wall, you throw it in, that's it. It's boring.
All right, so 9 gold gloves in center field. What's going to be the biggest adjustment for you, aside from staying busy out there?
Well, the biggest adjustment is just the way the ball's coming off the bat.
Just talk about the phone call you received and how you felt when they told you to be the starting pitcher on the All-Star game, and just what that experience was like for you.
You know, it was a good experience for me, the organization, my family.
Kevin, what is it your goal to play on every team in the American League East?
Yeah, I got the Yankees next year.
Carlos Pena was just here. He had a press conference to announce his one-year, $10 million deal with the Chicago Cubs. I've known Carlos for years, covering the Tampa Bay Rays. I literally just chased him down the hallway and had a great exclusive conversation with him. He strongly considered the Baltimore Orioles. He said that he loves Baltimore. He loves playing in Baltimore. He said that Andy McPhail and the Baltimore Orioles organization was extremely pleasant to deal with. He said they made him a very flattering offer.
I'm joined by the newest Chicago Cub, Carlos Pena. And Carlos, just talk about your free agent experience and how excited are you to join the Cubs and to really get this process over with?
You know what, I'm thrilled.
I know you didn't get into the All-Star game the way you wanted to, but tell me about the phone call and how excited you are.
Well, I'm here, and that's the most important thing.
How about the 9-game winning streak? Did you ever think that you would get there?
You know, it was a long road to get there.
Robinson, I know Larry Boa played such a significant role in helping you focus. Who here has stepped up and taken his spot, and is it Bobby Meacham, and if so, what has he taught you?
Yeah, it's Bobby Meacham. Yeah, he always talked to me about the game.
How does it feel to come out here every day and know that you play for a ball club that has a chance to win every year?
You know, those are kind of thing, and you know, I look at myself, and first thing that I do is thank God that I be here.
Switching gears, let's talk about your rotation. One of the best in the majors, but Clay Buchholz, you saw what he did last night here at Camden Yards. How much has he impressed you guys?
Yeah, he's growing up right in front of everybody.
Jim, I know there's a lot of great talent, rookie talent, in both leagues this year, but talk about the talent that you have in Austin Jackson. I know you lost Curtis Granderson, but how about the guy that you got in return?
Well, Shelf did a great job.